Introduction into COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO, short for Counterintelligence Program, was a series of operations carried out by the FBI from 1956 until 1971. This controversial program involved covert operations targeting political groups and movements that were deemed a danger to national security. The program was started by then Director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, in 1956 with the intended goal of increase factionalism, cause disruption, and win defections inside the Communist Party. The program was later escalated because of the numerous civil rights movements and nationalist movements within the United States. During the Vietnam War, it was used to discredit and cause public distrust for groups protesting the Vietnam War. Eventually, after suspecting FBI interference into activists' activities, the group, Citizens Commission to Investigate the FBI, broke into an FBI office in Media, Pennsylvania. They stole documents which contained details and letters about the counterintelligence program and leaked them to newspapers. The documents sparked a congressional investigation which eventually resulted in details of the program coming out in 1976. Notable groups and movements targeted were the American Indian Movement, the National Lawyers Guild, the Ku Klux Klan, many movements and groups affiliated with the New Left, the Civil Rights Movement, and many prominent members including Dr. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Many groups supporting Puerto Rican independence including the Young Lords. Vietnam War protest groups. Communist and socialist groups and political opponents, notably Barry Goldwater. Although some of these groups would likely warrant law enforcement attention, the controversy in the program lies in the methods used. The program's activities included warrantless surveillance, blackmail, covert operations, psychological warfare, false flag operations, and raids which ended in multiple deaths. Many activists were spied on, and embarrassing personal information retrieved from the surveillance was used against groups and individuals in order to discredit or blackmail them. One notorious incident was when Martin Luther King Jr. was sent an anonymous letter from the FBI impersonating a black man threatening to go public with evidence of King's extramarital affairs. The letter called King a complete fraud and demanded that he cease his activism or have evidence of his adultery leaked publicly. The letter in its entirety stated, "In view of your low-grade, abnormal personal behavior, I will not dignify your name with either a Mr. or a Reverend or a Dr. And, your last name calls to mind only the type of king such as King Henry VIII and his countless acts of adultery and immoral conduct lower than that of a beast. King, look into your heart. You know you are a complete fraud and a great liability to all of us Negroes. White people in this country have enough frauds of their own, but I am sure they don't have one at this time that is anywhere near your equal. You are no clergyman and you know it. I repeat, you are a colossal fraud and an evil, vicious one at that. You could not believe in God and act as you do. Clearly you don't believe in any personal moral principles. King, like all frauds, your end is approaching. You could have been our greatest leader. You, even at an early age, have turned out to be not a leader but a dissolute, abnormal moral imbecile. We will now have to depend on our older leaders like Wilkins, a man of character, and thank God we have others like him. But you are done. Your honorary degrees, your Nobel Prize, what a grim farce, and other awards will not save you. King, I repeat, you are done. No person can overcome facts, not even a fraud like yourself. Lend your sexually psychotic ear to the enclosure. You will find yourself and in all your dirt, filth, evil and moronic talk exposed on the record for all time. I repeat, no person can argue successfully against facts. You are finished. You will find on the record for all time your filthy, dirty, evil companions, male and females, giving expression with you to your hideous abnormalities. And some of them to pretend to be ministers of the gospel. Satan could not do more. What incredible evilness! It is all there on the record, your sexual orgies. Listen to yourself, you filthy, abnormal animal. You are on the record. You have been on the record, all your adulterous acts, your sexual orgies extending far into the past. This one is but a tiny sample. You will understand this. Yes, from your various evil playmates on the East Coast to and others on the West Coast and outside the country, you are on the record. King, you are done. The American public, the church organizations that have been helping, Protestant, Catholic and Jews will know you for what you are, an evil, abnormal beast. So will others who have backed you. You are done. King, there is only one thing left for you to do. You know what it is. You have just 34 days in which to do. This exact number has been selected for a specific reason. It has definite practical significance. You are done. There is but one way out for you. You better take it before your filthy, abnormal fraudulent self is bared to the nation. The end of the letter suggested suicide, and its release has since caused distrust from the American public. The King letter was by no means the most controversial aspect of COINTELPRO, as it was a tool at the fingertips of United States presidents in order to silence extremist political movements, and in the case of Lyndon B. Johnson, spy on his political opponent Barry Goldwater. Many FBI informants committed acts of murder or were paid large sums of money by the FBI to cause problems for the groups they were affiliated with. The program went as far as to insert provocateur agents into targeted groups, and the agents would incite or commit acts of violence. Gary Thomas Rowe, Jr. was a known agent provocateur, infiltrated the Ku Klux Klan and eventually was involved in the murder of civil rights activist Viola Liuzzo. After her murder, the FBI began to circulate rumors that her husband was involved in organized crime, she was a drug addict, and that she was a member of the Communist Party. Gary Rowe testified against the Ku Klux Klan and was placed in a witness protection program. These incidents are just the tip of the iceberg of the covert operations carried out by the FBI during this period. The FBI, because of the Freedom of Information Act, has released documents pertaining to COINTELPRO with the disclaimer. The FBI's FOIA library contains many files of public interest and historical value. In compliance with the National Archives and Records Administration (NARA) requirements, some of these records are no longer in the physical possession of the FBI, eliminating the FBI's capability to re-review and or reprocess this material. Please note that the information found in these files may no longer reflect the current beliefs, positions, opinions, or policies currently held by the FBI. This video was the introduction of the first in a series of videos that will cover details about the FBI's covert operations pertaining to COINTELPRO.